out on the field, just what do you think of the overall roster and what you're seeing out there?
Yeah, it's still very, very early. We are a fast, I'm going to speak offensively, we are a fast athletic team. We got speed at receiver, we got speed at running back. The tight end room, very athletic. The quarterback room, overly dynamic in the athletic department. Our offensive line is very athletic, so we are a faster, more athletic team than what we have been, which is positive. Now we got to get them right, playing together, working together, making plays, gaining the experience, because we're a young team. Pretty much every position is either new or young. There's not a lot of Memphis experience coming back, minus Greg, Sutton. Up front, we got Xavier, we got Goo, and we got Chrissy. Other than that, we got either new or young across the board. So we got to get everybody playing together, playing the Memphis way.
Speaking of the youth, Brady Foose is a guy that, how much did that limited experience kind of help him heading into this?
Yeah. Brady got some burn for us last year, which was good for him. Helped us out last year, obviously. That's the most important thing. But it was great for him to get his feet wet, get some experience in there, and he's a veteran in that room, as I told him the other day. He's much more mature than his age. He has a natural leadership ability. He works his tail off, so he already leads by example. People already look up to him in that way. Now he needs to start speaking more and not be a young kid. You guys know me well enough. I hate using the term young anything, because that's just an excuse to make a mistake or an excuse to not be a leader. Like he needs to step up and be that leader and continue taking care of himself. But him getting his feet wet last year was huge for us. Huge for us last year for our success we had, and then huge for him moving forward.
Can you tell us what Brendan Lewis brings to the table?
He brings a dynamic in the quarterback room that we haven't had here in a little bit. He's a true dual threat kid. He's an athlete that can spin it. He brings 36 games of starting experience in college football. Again, I don't have that stat, but I don't know how many active college quarterbacks there are that have 36 games started under their belt. So, he brings that experience to the room. Me and him are getting to know each other on a daily basis, as me and the other four quarterbacks are, or the three quarterbacks are right now, getting to know each other on a daily basis. But he brings a true dual threat to that room. Kid that can stand in the pocket, spin it, kid that we can move the pocket with, a kid that we can play some quarterback running with, put some threat on the defense.
How much fun, I know you're going to have decisions to make before the season, but how much fun is it for you to, with Seth being here and having that spot for the last 4 years, getting to watch like a wide open competition?
Yeah, it's great to see guys out and compete at every single position. Okay, I can honestly, I joke about it, but last year I'd go into the meeting room, and I'm a big guy who says we don't have a starter, like we don't have starters in this offense. The first play of the game, we will put 11 guys in that field who give us the best opportunity to be successful on that play. So I don't like tagging people starters, but when I said that last year, I said we don't have starters, except for you, Seth, and you, Rock, and you, you know what I mean? But right now, we got a bunch of guys who are battling for the top 6 wide receiver spots, the top 3, 4 tight end spots, the top 6, 7, 8 offensive line spots, the top 2, 3 running back spots, and then we got one quarterback. So it's fun to see them out there competing. It's fun to see them out there going after each other. And it's also fun to see them still playing together, which is a hard part of doing when you're battling for the spot. But, speaking of the quarterback room, there's guys in there helping the other guy out, and talking to the other guy about what they saw on the sideline, what they saw on the play. And, Harry's the guy who's been with me the longest for 3 years, and Arrington was here last year. So, they know me inside and out already. And I hear them talking to AJ and B. Lou, like when he says this is what he's talking about, this is what he means. And to me, that's great teamwork, that's great chemistry, that's great building of what Coach Stillfield does in his program. But at the same time, everybody's going after it. So it's fun to watch them.
With the quarterbacks, what are you looking for? I know it's super early, but what are you looking for right now?
Mistake-free football. Dynamics that can add to the offense, that can put pressure on defense in the run game, in the throw game. Guys that are playing mistake-free football, and guys that can lead. I could sit here and talk forever about what that is. Quarterback position is the most important position in sports, not just a game of football and not just the Memphis Tigers. It's the most important position in sports, and that kid has to be 100%. We talked Chicago O'Hare Airport. We've talked about that already, you know, and that's what we need to be. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a dynamic where we can threaten the defense in the run game, we can threaten the defense in the throw game, we can threaten the defense in any type of situation that we put them in, and that's what we're trying to do.
On the offensive line, we've seen Xavier play like basically every position, right?
Mhm.
You heard Coach Myers last year say that he wanted to get him on the interior. Are you at a point now in the spring where you're going to have him go everywhere, or is there someone you want?
Yeah, you know, Coach Myers does a tremendous job of that, moving guys around up front and playing them at all different positions. When we look for old linemen, we look for 10 guys who can play for us where we don't skip a beat if they happen to be in the game. And in order to do that, they have to play multiple positions to market themselves so that we have the ability to play the best 5 offensive linemen. Knock on wood, someone gets hurt in the O-line, we still can put our best 5 on and not say, well, we have 3 tackles that are really good, but none of them can move inside. So Coach Myers does a tremendous job of playing them in all different positions. We have a different center and a whole bunch. We have 4, 5, 6 guys we feel can snap the ball for us, let that competition happen. We got plenty of guys that can move from spot to spot, interior and the tackle spot. So he's moving everybody around. But X is the guy that, you know, X is going to be there for us. We know he has been there for us for a long time. Where he's going to be, we'll find out. And part of that is who else steps up and who else allows us to play them places where X wants to play or X has the ability to play.
How exciting is it for you, you know, with the expectation of having 2 healthy running backs that have the skill sets of Greg and Cedric Smith?
Yeah, they add a big-time dynamic to what we're doing. I mentioned earlier about athleticism and how fast we are. Those 2 guys are it. There's not a position on the field they can't play. We're moving them all over the place, letting them play running back, letting them play out at receiver, letting them play around a little bit. They understand it. They know it. That's two guys that are serious weapons for us that we have to be able to use and move around. They've done a really good job so far of doing that. You know, we've seen what they can do on the field, specifically Greg towards the end when he got back from his injury last year. Early on, we saw flashes of Sutton, and that's a kid who's just chomping at the bit to get back on the field. You know, it was a long road for him. He fought through it. He showed up every single day. He had a tremendous attitude about the situation that happened to him, and kept good spirits the whole time. So positive things are going to happen. It's my job to figure out how to put the ball in their hands enough time so they can be themselves.
Me, Coach.
I appreciate y'all.